Hello and welcome to the Motorcycle Report. So this is kind of an introduction to what I'd like to see happen on this channel. There's lots to talk about in the motorcycle world from, when it first began back in the 1800s when motorcycles were first invented from using bicycles and engines up until today when motorcycles can go hundreds and hundreds of miles an hour. And I've been wanting to make this channel for a long time and trying to figure out the best way to go about it. I was going to start recording myself talking on camera, but ran into some teleprompter problems. So, it's those things are tough. You try to look into the camera and look past the teleprompter, and I just couldn't get my eyes to do what I wanted them to do. So, I've always thought that it'd be fun to be like a radio disc jockey type person, that type of thing, but I never really got into it. But I do like to talk about things that are interesting, and I found that motorcycles are really an interesting topic. So while I have some experience riding, I've been riding for years when I was younger, and then I quit for a while, and then decided that if I don't start riding again, then I may not ever do it. So you get a little bit older, and you kind of get that bug going where, hey, I got to ride a bike, or I may not get to. Yeah, you can ride them from age 2 to 102 or more if you want, but middle age, I just decided now is a good time to get back into it, and I like to do creative things like talk about different interesting subjects, and so motorcycles happens to be the subject I've decided to settle on. And like I said, I'm a videographer. If you look me up online, you'll see I've directed a couple of films, not big time films, but a few independent things, just for fun basically. It never really took me as far as I would have liked to, but it was good times, and I guess now I'm kind of winding down from making films and stuff like that. I've got a daytime type job, but I wanted to find something to have fun with, and so that's why I'm here, and so that's why I'm explaining this on my intro video. So I'll tell you a little bit about the equipment I'm recording with. Pretty basic stuff, really. It's a Tascam DR40 is the audio recorder, and I record onto mini SD cards. And then I take that card and throw it on my computer, and then I throw the audio up on my editing system. I've got Sony Vegas Pro, and go through and find all my mistakes and cut them all out. And so next on the list of stuff I'm using is just a pretty simple mic stand and a Rode NT3 microphone. It's a hypercardioid is what you call it. I believe it's a condenser microphone. Not sure exactly what that means, but in the film world, I never really got into the technical part of the equipment that I was using, but I could test it and see if it worked well or not. So this isn't your typical radio microphone, but it seems to have served me well over the years, and I really enjoy it. So I've just kept using it. And so I got online and took a look at a lot of the other YouTube video creators out there, and I found some that kind of do this type of format. It's where you don't really watch who's talking, but you can hear them kind of like a radio program, and that's kind of the route I'd like to go with this, as far as if it's something that you'd like to listen to at work, or just when you're out about, maybe driving along somewhere, if you can hook up your phone and run it on that way. If you're into motorcycles and you like to hear about them as much as you can, as much as possible, then this is for you, because I'm here to talk about them, and I'm here to tell you everything I know, which is not nearly as much as a lot of other people. And so part of what I'm putting into this program is, the major part of it is going to be going out and looking at different websites, talking to different types of writers, and finding out what makes everything go, what makes it tick. It's two wheels, a bicycle frame, and an engine, and there's lots of other things that are involved with that get put into that. So I'm going to go ahead and find out as much as I can about all the different brands of motorcycle out there, report on them specifically, all the different unique situations that happen in the motorcycle world, all of the unique people in the motorcycle world, really just exploring that world. Motorcycle movie reviews, motorcycle tours, people who have, like I said, a lot more motorcycle experience than I do. And I'll tell you about some of my experiences. I have had a few, so I'll be able to talk about those. Also, I'd like to see about getting you guys involved as much as I can. What would be a lot of fun is if I could have you send me from time to time pictures of your motorcycle or motorcycles, and we put them up on the video so people have something cool to look at and share. And I'll read off whose motorcycles it is, what it is, and why it's special to you. That's a great thing to experience in the motorcycle community, is to find out what everybody else is riding and what they like about their bikes. Maybe they don't have the best bike they could possibly have. Maybe there's a better one out there they'd like to have, and so maybe they could just go ahead and be looking towards that. But I want to definitely find out what they are riding and share that with everybody else and see who has the similar types of makes and models, who has different ones, and anybody has questions about these different makes and models of bikes out there. How many are there? Countless, of course. How many different motorcycle companies are there out there? Countless, of course. Like I said, I'll be talking about those companies, and I'll be talking about just all the different things that make the motorcycle world what it is. And it's come a long way. There's lots of different types of programs about cars and how do you fix cars and motor vehicles and different brands of cars. Well, I'm not a mechanic, and I'm not here to fix all of the problems that people's maybe having with their motorcycles, but I'm here to express that maybe there are different problems, and how can it be fixed, and these specific problems. But it's not necessarily a mechanic type of a show. It's more of a unique stories type of a show, and everybody who rides a motorcycle is unique. All people are unique, but our motorcycles kind of show our personalities in another way, and to share that with other people is wonderful. It'll be nice to hear from everyone talking about that, and definitely want to hear it in the comments. And then I'll have an email address set up for everyone to send me pictures of their bikes, and I'll post them up on the channel, and everybody can take a look at everybody else's motorcycles and have their own on display. I'm not going to be doing things like this is for sale for this much and putting it up for sale. Not doing that. This is not a buy and sell type of deal. It's more of a share type of deal. So I'll be investigating different motorcycle websites and talking about those on here, so you will know different about the different places you can go to look at different types of bikes, whichever ones you're interested in. I'm going to be here to hear about anything you want to talk about with motorcycles. If you have any suggestions for stories you'd like to see me report on, I'll be happy to do that. If you'd like to see just anything in general, I'd like to keep the radio type reports. I think that's what I'm going for here, is a radio type of a feel. Well, I'm going to try to keep them under 15 minutes, but definitely more than 5 minutes, and just keep talking about motorcycles. That's what we all want to hear about. That's what I want to talk about. And I'm going to be coming to you every day or every other day, depending on my schedule. I'm going to try to do it every day, but it might be every other day, and talk about a new subject. There'll be things like what types of motorcycles were ridden in the Indiana Jones movies. They had sidecar motorcycles, and they'll be fun to talk about and explain that it wasn't actually BMW that provided the motorcycles for those films, even though the films themselves were trying to be historically accurate. Another one would be talking about Whizzer, the beautiful classic motorcycle, and how special it is, as it was a very beautiful representation of what a motorcycle truly is, a bicycle and an engine. And other stories, we'll talk about handlebars, different types. We'll talk about different types of makes and models of motorcycles, which one's fastest, which one's the slowest. I think we all know that the Honda Cub is the one that's sold the most over the years. It certainly is a special bike in its own right. And heroic feats that have happened in the motorcycle world, where people have been rescued on motorcycles, and amazing things that have happened where you have the two largest twins ever to live from the Guinness Book of World Records riding mini bikes, Honda mini bikes, across the country. Lots to explore, lots to find out about, lots to hear about. I want this to be a community place where everyone who enjoys riding can come and look and see what other people are writing in the comments, and looking at the motorcycles we're all sharing, and hearing about all the different unique stories and new news around the internet and around the world about motorcycles. I hope you'll join me, and thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.